Government's chief advisor Mohammad Yunus, who was on a 4-day China visit, has urged Beijing to make the ocean-facing part of Bangladesh an extension of the Chinese economy. Yunus has urged the Chinese government to set up its economic base in the country, while saying that Dhaka was the only guardian of the ocean in that region. He has stated that 7 states of India, eastern part of India called Seven Sisters, are a landlocked country and they have no way of reaching out to the ocean. We are the only guardians of the ocean in this region, and this opens up huge possibilities. This could be an extension of the Chinese economy. Earlier, Yunus also said that it's important for Bangladesh to see China as a good friend. Yunus, who met Chinese President Xi Jinping during his visit to Beijing, urged China to increase investments to revive Bangladesh's flagging economy. Aditya Wadhwan on the telecast with me. And Aditya, give us details about this new initiative, a proposal being made by Mohammad Yunus to expand trade ties between Bangladesh and China, and highlighting the importance of the ocean to allow for maritime trade to flow between two countries.
Well, absolutely. If you see, Bangladesh is, rattled from within, it has, the economy is in shambles at the moment of Bangladesh, So that is why, this Mohammad Yunus trip to China has been the main agenda of, Mohammad Yunus visit to China has been to, get some economic help from China, so as to revive the very rattled Bangladeshi economy, because, as we know, there have been widespread protests against this interim government led by Mohammad Yunus. And, particularly if we talk about the maritime trade, because of its position, Bangladesh is, wanting that China enters the Indian Ocean through Bangladesh, because it wants that, China has some effect on in the Indian Ocean, but it is very impractical for on part of Mohammad Yunus to talk regarding this, because China is a very China is known to have some predatory tactics. It is known to give entrap small countries by giving them huge loans, and then charge high rate of interest so that they cannot repay those interest. So it is very possible now that Bangladesh can get into this debt trap of China, which China has been doing in the past. In Africa also it has entrapped some of the countries by giving predatory loans. So let us just put this into perspective. By increasing this maritime cooperation, Yunus is wanting that China does invest in Bangladesh heavily, so that there is some sort of revival in Bangladesh. Yes.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Aditya, for giving us those details. Listen into what Mohammad Yunus said.
Called Seven Sisters. They are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy. Build things, produce things, market things, bring things to China, bring it out to the whole rest of the world. That's a production house for you. So that's the opportunity we should seize, and we should implement, we should get it done. Nepal has unlimited hydropower, which is a blessing. Bhutan has unlimited hydropower. That's a blessing. We can bring it to our purpose, to our setting up our factories and so on. And from Bangladesh, you can go anywhere you want, because the ocean is in our backyard. So this is the opportunity that we want to take. And not necessarily it will be something you produce and sell it to the world. You can produce in Bangladesh, sell it to China too. Because it's a market which is easier, cheaper to produce it in Bangladesh, or it's easier, cheaper to produce it in China. That will be the question you'll be raising yourself. Any kind of business is okay. It could be highly technology-oriented business. It could be relocation of an entire factory. That's also, it could be assembly line businesses, whatever. So this is a challenge we can take together to make it happen. That's the story that we want to discuss with you, how to make it happen, what are the impediments on the way, what needs to be done to clear up the path so that we can work.
Professor Madhav Nalapad on the telecast with me. Professor Nalapad, it's interesting to note the commentary coming in from Mohammad Yunus. He's just returned from China. He had met President Xi Jinping and are talking about the Indian Ocean region, the Bay of Bengal, and how Bangladesh is a better bet than India when it comes to maritime trade between China and Bangladesh. What does this how is this going to be impactful in terms of the seven sisters which are landlocked, is what Bangladeshi interim chief advisor has mentioned, has highlighted, and will this reflect in more trade between Bangladesh and China here on?
I would like to point out the Chinese have been making diplomatic overtures to India, and there have been some very friendly statements about India. Any joining hands with Bangladesh to deny free access. The fact is, Bangladesh has profited immensely by rail, road, and other access that India is basically having, or Bangladesh is having. It's not just one-sided, it's two-sided. And Bangladesh has profited enormously by that. So Mohammed Yunus neglects one thing, which is the China-US Cold War II. He is completely forgetting about that, and frankly, he cannot be in a situation where he is seen as a Chinese satellite. Unfortunately, his visit to China is more in the nature of being a Chinese satellite rather than being an independent equal state. Now, quite honestly, Sheikh Hasina had her issues, and the last several years, she had a lot of misuse, corruption, etc. But what has taken its place in Bangladesh, the Chinese would like to get extremists in. Pakistanis also. And Pakistan and China are working together on that. But such extremism is going to be the end of Bangladesh as an international investment destination. Ultimately, here the Chinese will not invest there. They're finding it very difficult to invest in Pakistan because of the security concerns. The same problem will come in Bangladesh. So the reality is, any tilt of Bangladesh towards Wahhabism will be very, very damaging to its economy, and that's why the military chief is basically opposing that kind of shift, and now is in favor of more moderate policies. So I think this is something to watch out for, and I think Mohammed Yunus needs to be fully mindful of the fact that we are having Cold War 2.0 between the US and China, and India is aligning more and more towards the US. So in that situation, it will be a very difficult proposition for him to try and create any problems for Indian access. It will damage the Bangladesh economy. It will therefore affect societal stability. And don't forget, Megha, there were mass riots at one time, thanks to Sheikh Hasina's misrule. If you have Mohammed Yunus's misrule, they'll again be mass riots, and they won't take as many years or as long as it took for the case of Sheikh Hasina to erupt.
Right, absolutely.